morning, children. So we will start the new topic today. In electricity part 3, we will start Ohm's law and resistance. Till now, we have learned two formula. One is or 3, Q is equal to NE. Second, current is equal to Q by T. And third, this V is equal to W by Q. So these three formula you have to memorize by heart, and this is first, second, third. Today we will study 3-4 more formulas on Ohm's law. So I am repeating again. Q is NE, I Q by T, V W by Q. And you should know what is this I, V, Q and W. So these three formula we have done, and today we will start with Ohm's law and resistance, and the numericals which were given yesterday, we will take them after this lecture. So as you know, now you know what is V. V is potential difference. What is I? I is current flowing in the conductor. We wonder now whether there is a relationship between this V and I. Yes, there is a perfect relationship. Both. Now all of you know V is potential difference and I is current, and I will use the term only V and I now. There is a perfect relationship between V and I. They both go hand in hand. How? This is first of all described by one German physicist, and his name was George Simon Ohm. Very famous, and on his name the formula Ohm, this law, Ohm's law is formed. Now we will study what is Ohm's law. What did he say? He said that V and I, they are related with each other. If V is increased, then I is also increased. If V is decreased, then I is also decreased. But when, where and why? So what is that? Ohm's law is given. The definition of Ohm's law, you here listen carefully. What is the definition of Ohm's law? And you will never forget this if you remember it like this. What is the definition? That the potential difference, look here, the potential difference across a conductor. This is a metallic wire, so this is known as conductor. The potential difference across means across its two ends. This is positive end, this is negative end. So the potential difference across a conductor in an electric circuit is directly proportional to current which is flowing in it, unless or provided that temperature remains constant. So this is the definition of Ohm's law. I am writing here. What is the definition of Ohm's law? This is the definition of Ohm's law. That is, you start with potential difference V across the two terminals of a metallic conductor in an electric circuit is directly proportional to current which is flowing. Current, where should I write? Is directly proportional to current which is flowing in this conductor, provided the temperature. You should also write, you have to write, provided the temperature remains constant. So this is the definition of Ohm's law. What is the, I am repeating again, what is the definition of Ohm's law? Potential, you can see here, potential difference. Where this potential difference is present? It is present across the two ends of this conductor. This red one is conductor, a metallic wire, one end is this and the other end is this. Across the two ends of this conductor, some potential difference is present in an electric circuit. It is joined to an electric circuit. If the metal remains here, it is lying like this, there is no potential difference. But if it is joined to an electric circuit, there is some potential difference across the two ends of this metal. And this V is directly proportional to I. I is current which is flowing through this metallic conductor. It is directly proportional regarding the temperature is constant. This is the definition of Ohm's law. First of all, given by Ohm's in somewhere between 17th and 18th century. So this is Ohm's law. Now we have one equation. V is directly proportional to I. V is in volt, I is in amperes. Then we should know how these are directly proportional. If it is increasing, it is also increasing. How? This can be seen by these two diagrams. This is the electric conductor and the same conductor, metallic conductor is here. Both are same. This is the electric circuit. Suppose on this terminal of this conductor, the potential difference is, on positive side is 5V. And the total potential difference is 5V. Then on this negative side, it should be 0. You can take other also. But if we take 0 potential on negative side and 5V potential on positive side, then there will be a flow of electrons. Because electrons are negatively charged, they are attracted by positive charge, and in this conductor, they start flowing towards this terminal and a current is formed. Suppose the current is 1 ampere current is formed like this. Now what we did, if this potential difference is doubled from 5, it is doubled to 10V and it is on 0V. So if it is doubled, it means there will be more positive charges on this side. When there are more positive charges, then more electrons will be attracted by these more positive charges. So more electrons, they start flowing towards this end. When more electrons start flowing, then the current is also increased. If it is doubled from 5 to 10, the current is also doubled from 1 ampere to 2 ampere. These are arbitrary values just for understanding. So these diagrams show that if the voltage, this is also known as voltage. So if PD or voltage is doubled, then current is also doubled because more electrons will be attracted by more protons on this side. This is why V is directly proportional to I. So this is the explanation of doubling of the current or doubling of this. Now an experiment is done to prove that this happens. If it is doubled, it is also doubled. An experiment is there and it is in your NCERT book, and this is this experiment. This diagram also shows the electric circuit. You have to learn electric circuits also. So first we will do what is electric circuit and what are its components. The different components of this electric circuit are shown here. First, these are different cells. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cells are there, and this is the positive terminal of the cell, which is denoted by a long line, and a short thick line is negative terminal of the cell. Now these 4 cells are joined together and they form a battery. We call this a battery of 4 cells. And where is the place of joining? This negative is joined to this positive, this negative to this to this. In this way, these are connected with each other. So this is how we draw cells in our electric circuit. We write plus on this side and minus on this side. The second component is the metallic wire. This is the metallic wire where these arrows, they are being formed. So metallic wire can be of copper or silver or aluminium. Any metallic wire is taken, but mostly in lab experiments we take copper as it has low resistance. So this is the second component. The third component is this resistor. This wire is known as resistor. It is having some resistance which is to be studied under these experiments. So this is resistance. Instead of this resistance, we can take a bulb or a fan or a television. All these are resistors. So, and this is, suppose the two ends of this resistor, X and Y. The next component is ammeter, and if this is the positive side and current is coming like this, we will write plus here and minus here. And this is joined in a series in the circuit. Series means with this conductor. And this ammeter, it measures the current in the circuit. And this is the other device. It is known as voltmeter, and it is fixed across the two ends of the resistor. The two ends are X and Y. Across these two ends, this voltmeter is joined in the circuit but in parallel connection. When it is with this, it is known as series connection. When it is out of the external circuit, it is known as parallel connection. This connection is parallel connection. Again, we will write plus on the plus side and minus on the minus side. What is it is doing? This voltmeter, it is measuring the potential difference across the two ends of this resistor. So this is for measuring potential difference, and it is for measuring current. The other component, the most important, is key, or it is known as plug key. It is a switch, and in this condition it is closed. Closed means electricity or the current is flowing in the circuit. If we don't put this dot, then it is open, and now the circuit is broken and no current is passing. So it is closed like this. So this is circuit. These are all the components of this electric circuit, and one more component is there, that is known as rheostat. This component is known as, I have made this. This component is known as rheostat or variable resistance. This variable resistance, it is joined in the circuit if we want to change the current without changing potential difference. So this is rheostat or variable resistance. We can put anywhere if we need to change the current without changing the potential difference. So this is the other component of this electric circuit. So this is the electric circuit with various components. One, two more. If these conductors are to be joined, they are joined like this. If we want to overlap the conductor, we draw like this. So these are different components of electric circuit. Now coming to the experiments to prove that V is directly proportional to I. So this experiment is done. You have seen 4 cells are taken. Suppose the cells are of 1.5 V each cell, and this is the metallic conductor. Suppose its length is 0.5 meters, half meter, and these are the other components. When the circuit is closed, what happens? This current starts flowing like this. All of you know this is the conventional direction of current from plus to minus. Although we know the actual direction of current is from negative to positive, as the electrons they move from the negative sides towards the positive side. But for long, conventionally, the same direction is being taken into consideration. It is not changed yet. So this is the conventional direction from plus to the minus side. When it happens, when the circuit is closed, the current start flowing. First we join only one cell with the circuit. These three are not joined, and we take the reading of ammeter and voltmeter. It will give the reading of current, it will give the reading of PD. Here the table is there, serial number 1, when only one cell is joined. Then I is suppose 0.02, V is 0.04. Next, we join two cells together. The potential difference is doubled, 1.5 plus 1.5. These are two cells. When the two cells are taken together, the potential difference is increased. Now the reading of A and V is, suppose when two cells are joined, 0.03 and 0.06. Next, we join three cells together. When three are taken together, then the potential difference is increased, and this is the reading of V and this is the reading of I. Now these are three readings suppose are taken from this experiment. What we do next? We calculate the ratio of V by I. So what will be the ratio of this? 0.04. It is 0.04 V by I divided 0.02. What will it give? It will give 2. What will the ratio here? 6 by 3 give 2. 8 by 4 will it give 2. So every time the V upon I ratio is 2. It is fixed and it is constant in all the cases. And this constant we call as resistance. Now the word resistance comes into picture, and every time the VI ratio in all the cases is 2 to 2. That is, if V is increased, I is increased, here it is 4 2. If it is increased, it is also doubled. If it is doubled, then it is also tripled. It is also tripled. So every time VI ratio is 2 to 2. This VI ratio is constant, and this constant is known as resistance, and this resistance is for this conductor, for the wire, for this wire which are using here. So this resistance is constant for this particular wire if the temperature remains constant, and this resistance that does not vary with V or I. V and I has no effect on this metallic wire if the temperature remains constant, and this R resistance is constant for this wire in any circumstances. Is it okay? So this experiment is done. Now we will derive the formula of Ohm's law. This is the derivation of the formula for Ohm's law. We know V is directly proportional to I, which is given by Ohm, and we have seen using this experiment and this table. Now this is the symbol of sign of proportionality? All of you know, if it is to be eliminated, sign of proportionality is to be changed with sign of equality. We have to put some constant with this I. So we put R when this is changed to equal sign. Now, so V is equal to I R. V is PD, I is current. So we took this letter R, which is a constant, to remove this sign of proportionality. Now this R is known as resistance, or R is equal to, from this equation we can derive that this R is equal to V upon I. That is, resistance is equal to V upon I, which we have seen here. V upon I is resistance of a metallic conductor, and it is known as resistance, and its symbol is R. Its SI unit is ohm, on the name of the discoverer Ohm, and it is denoted by this Greek letter omega. The symbol of ohm, we can write ohm also, or we can write this omega. This is Greek letter omega, so it is written as omega. This ohm is written as omega. This is the symbol of ohm, which is SI unit of this resistance I. One other, all three equations can be drawn by this. One, I is equal to V by R, or we can have V is equal to I into R. So these three equations, R is equal to V by I is equal to V by R, and V is equal to IR. These three formula are most important formula and electricity, and all the numericals which we will do after this also, power numericals and then resistivity and all that, they are done with the help of these three formula. These are used somewhere in almost all the numericals of electricity. So don't remember only R is equal to V by. Also remember I is equal to V by I and V is equal to R into I. Write these three formula 10 times each in your notebooks. So they will go into the cells of your neurons of your brain. Now a simple method is there. It is known as triangle for Ohm's law. A simple method is, it is a simple method. We form this triangle and write V and divide it like this. Write V in the upper section. How do you remember that V is to be written here? Because it is like V. The tip of the triangle is like V and it is opposite. So V is written in this first section. These two sections are divided. Here current is written. Here resistance is written. So what does it show? It shows, should I have this? This show that we take this line is for division and this line is for multiplication. So if we want to know the value of V, V is equal to I into R, as is written here. Is it clear to all of you? This line is for division, this line is for multiplication. So V is equal to R into I or I into R, one and the same thing. If we want to know the value of I, then we put it is equal to, first we write V divided by R. As written here, I is equal to V divided by R. Are you following this? So this is a simple method to learn all these three formula. What is about R? If we write R, R is equal to, first write V, then divided by R, I. So R is V divided by I. So this is the triangle for Ohm's law. We can learn all these but you don't need to write this or learn this. You learn these formula by heart. R is V by I is V by R, V is Ri. There is one more trick. You can, a funny trick. This is like Ravi. Ravi is the name of many boys. Ravi. So R is Ravi. I don't know about this. And if you write V is equal to I into R, so this is Veer. This forms V-I-R, Veer. So it is also a name of a, can be the name of a boy. So V is Veer and this is Ravi. And this is left. You can learn this. If I is here, then R is here, then I is equal to V by R. So these three formula for Ohm's law are very, very important. So this is about this. And one more thing you can see, it is written here, if I is doubled, R is halfened. From this formula you can see I is inversely proportional to R. R is in the denominator. So if it is doubled, R will be halfened. If it is halfened, R will be doubled, as they both are inversely proportional. This is one thing. Now the next is, what is 1 ohm resistance? We can also define, it is asked in the exam also, what is define 1 ohm? What is 1 ohm? So 1 ohm, by this formula simply we can define 1 ohm. If the potential difference, you have to write complete sentence. If the potential, this is potential difference. If the potential difference across a metallic wire is 1 volt and the current in the circuit is flowing is 1 ampere, then the resistance of the wire will be 1 ohm, provided the temperature remains constant. This line is very important. You have to write provided the temperature remains constant. Otherwise, marks will be deducted. So, what is 1 ohm? V should be 1 volt. Current should be 1 ampere. Then this resistance will be 1 ohm. So, this is about Ohm's law and resistance. What does the word resistance mean? It means, resistance means to resist something, to obstruct, to oppose. So who is opposing and what is being opposed or resisted. So this resistance is for the flow of current in the metallic wire. Suppose this is the metallic copper wire. It has many atoms, copper atoms. Yesterday we have also seen these atoms. Many copper atoms are there. Just a minute. Many copper atoms are there in this metallic wires. Now you all know there are free electrons which are moving in metals. Free electrons are there, and these free electrons, they are moving haphazardly inside this metallic wire. And they are moving when the PD is created on both the sides, they streamline and they start going towards the positive side and current is formed. What is current? Current is flow of these charges or flow of electrons. So the current is formed. When this current is formed, these electrons, they feel or they experience resistance by these atoms which are present inside the metallic conductor. So these atoms or the other electrons, they collide with each other and they form the resistance and they hinder their movement. So the current feels resistance by these atoms of the metal. If this opposition or obstruction is more, then the resistance is more. If obstruction is less or the resistance is less, then the resistance is less. So in metallic wires or copper or silver, the resistance is less or the opposition is less, so it has less resistance. In insulator or semiconductors, the opposition is more, so they have more resistance. And in metals also, some metals have less resistance like copper, silver or aluminium, and the other metals, they have more resistance because their atoms, they oppose the flow of electrons inside them. This is resistance, which is opposition of these atoms to the flow of current. So this is resistance. Now one more thing is left. When we make this table, when we have done this experiment, we want to draw a graph to show and how R is calculated. This is helpful for doing certain numericals. And suppose this is the graph, this is y-axis, x-axis, all of you know. On y we have taken V in volt, on x we have taken I in ampere. So the same reading I have written 0.2, 0.3 and 0.04 on this side, and 0.4, 0.6 and 0.08 on this side, and a graph is drawn. We will see that this graph line is a straight line arising from the origin. This graph line, it is known as resistance because it is V upon I. We know that V upon I is R, here also written V upon I is equal to R. So this graph line shows the resistance of the conductor, and this is a straight line showing that V is directly proportional to I. So now how to calculate this R? R has to be calculated by, this is the slope of the graph, all of you know. This slope is y upon x. Here y is V and x is I. So slope R should be equal to y2 minus yi divided by x2 minus x1, or this is as this is V2 minus V1 divided by I2 minus I1, which is V2. Suppose we want to know the resistance of this place. So this is V2, at this place this is V1. So we take the reading of this, and this is I2